Ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump has asked the Supreme Court to decide on the constitutionality of Colorado's absurd decision to keep him off the ballot. The Supreme Court maybe already has when you watch this segment, but the Supreme Court will, in the next couple of hours or couple of days or couple of weeks, decide. And they will decide in favor of Trump. They will decide that he must be put on every single ballot because he did not foment or engage in a rebellion. He did not try to overthrow the country. He did not try to overthrow the government or turn against the United States of America. This is a stupid, apoplectic leap of logic from morally superior Democrats who are now behind Trump in the polls. Trump is up over mashed potato brains, our current president. That's after having been charged or indicted 91 times or 91 charges, criminal charges. And he's still up with only negative media coverage. Hit subscribe, by the way, to this channel. I will have 2 live streams today like I do every single day. I should have a live stream today at around 5 or 6 p.m. Eastern, and I'll have a live stream at 10 p.m. Eastern this evening. But hit subscribe to this channel. The reason that I am certain is that this is a Daily Beast article from 2021. He did not engage in a rebellion. The Federal Bureau of Investigation found no evidence Trump or allies organized any type of criminal activity. Trump did not know anyone that committed a crime. He did not tell anyone to commit crimes. He performed a speech while he was president, and he didn't even need presidential immunity for a speech that some people, well, a speech that had nothing to do with criminal activity. He did not tell people to commit crimes. According to Democrats, when Trump voices his discontent, suddenly people lose all impulse control and they completely lose their minds and they become these raging maniacs. And it's Trump's fault because through his subliminal communication, the Make America Great supporters lose the ability to decipher right and wrong, and the good liberal Democrats have to watch as our nation's capital is overrun by people intent on rebelling against the government at the behest of Trump. And that did not happen. That did not happen. It was a terrible day full of mayhem and chaos. There was no evidence that anything was organized or there was any effort to prevent Pence from engaging in his duties that day. It was a day that Trump had every right to voice his discontent, and he didn't commit a crime. The criminals, the people who did commit crimes, are treated in a manner that those responsible for billions upon billions in property damage have not been they've not been treated in the same manner. Let's put it that way. Okay, that entire summer, you had Trump and the entire planet, the United States of America, everybody in the country looking at mayhem, chaos, buildings set ablaze with CNN journalists saying, well, it's fiery but mostly peaceful. You had billions of dollars in property damage. You had confrontations with law enforcement, and Kinzinger and Cheney and Democrats never shed a tear. They didn't care at all. And they focused purely for politics on that one day. And again, it shouldn't have happened. I agree with Trump. I agree with President Trump. I'm voting for President Trump in 24. As, you're voting for him, and it'll be an amazing live stream on this channel. Be here in November of 24 for the live stream on this channel, ladies and gentlemen. I agree that Trump had every right to voice his discontent and to express concern that very bizarre anomalies took place. After Bernie Sanders was completely railroaded by a DNC primary in 2016, Um, who blames Trump for looking at Democrats? Tammany Hall, known for doing shady and corrupt things, especially when you have a president who won Ohio and Florida that night. You can't say he wasn't popular or that he was so divisive that Mashed Potato Brains eventually became the most popular candidate of all time. Speaking to one or two people or three people for these, major Democratic Party rallies. But anyway, that's a whole other story. Hit subscribe to this channel. The Supreme Court will rule in favor of Trump. Democrats tried this authoritarian, totalitarian move to go after him, indict him, imprison their political opponent, and then for things he didn't do, by the way, while they get away with criminal activity, bribery and graft with Hunter and Joe being one example. In the laptop, the New York Post, there are literally verbatim, how can you use your influence on the company's behalf? The evidence is there, okay, and the money flow, and it's like there's far more circumstantial evidence. If you don't think there's any direct evidence, there's far more circumstantial evidence of bribery and graft schemes with Hunter and Joe than there ever was with Trump and Russia. And that proved to be complete nonsense. There was never at any point a reason to investigate Trump. But then again, people know this. That's why he's up in the polls. We had record low poverty with Trump and record highs in household median income. And he was the first president to step foot in North Korea. And he negotiated the Abraham Accords, which is one of the reasons there's so much inadvertent reasons for the mayhem and chaos in the Middle East. People don't want peace, or certain countries in the region want to undo the Abraham Accords. And so he did a lot of great things as president. His resume is filled with more accomplishments than Biden or President Obama's. Ask a Democrat what the lasting legacy of President Obama's 8 years was. You will not get an answer. Or Biden. What's his legacy? Other than a stock market crash that we're heading towards that I wrote about in the Federalist. But hit subscribe to read my writing in The Hill, The Huffington Post, Salon, The Jerusalem Post, The Federalist, other publications. Go to hagoodman.com. The super thanks is below. The Patreon is below. To my Patreons, thank you, everybody. That's below in the pinned comment. If you want to support this channel long term, my Patreon is below. But ladies and gentlemen, the Supreme Court, whether it's today, this week, next week, or this month, will give Trump a monumental victory. What a petulant, malicious, stupid thing to do, to try to ban him by making the absurd leap of logic that he rebelled against the country because of a speech that ruffled the feathers of wonderful, morally superior liberal sensibilities. Okay? Liberal sensibilities have been infused in American politics for years now. And when they get caught with corruption or things that are unexplained, very bizarre things take place, and natural suspicion arises. When people are suspicious of Democrats, the media reaction and the Democratic Party's reaction is absolute indignation. And they infuse their sensibilities into the storyline and the narrative. And they say, how dare you? And they lie by omission. So, for example, one person who Trump hired, they say, oh, he couldn't find anything. But they don't talk about all the other people that Trump worked with that found a tremendous amount of anomalies. And they don't tell you that Rudy Giuliani didn't have a chance to even defend himself in court. Okay, a lot of bizarre things took place, and there's really nothing they can do. Trump is coming back. He'll regain the Oval Office. Too many people want him. If he's up among Latino, Black, and young voters, core demographics of the Democratic Party, the demographics that Democrats need to win, always. If Trump is up or even close or more than higher percentage of those votes than he had last time, there's no way Democrats even get close. it's potentially a landslide victory for Trump, especially when I do think, unfortunately, God forbid, but unfortunately, there's going to be a stock market crash. Hit subscribe. This should be before November. Hit subscribe. Thanks, everybody, and God bless you.